There once was a lad on the tube of the U who made silly videos for people to view. He fancied himself a medieval town planner and wanted to become the lord of the manor. So sit back, relax, if you are bored, watch Pibbles playing Manor Lords. Hello, I'm Mr. Pibbles and welcome back to our wonderful little playthrough of Manor Lords here on the Mr. Pibbles YouTube channel. Now, I'm just going to pause that very quickly. So, where did we leave out last time? Well, we built all of this agricultural area. We've got our sheep farm there, our windmill there, our farmhouse there. Then we've got a pasture, we've got our 3 fields, and we left off building these burgages. Now, winter is about to end, so if we give it legitimately just a few moments, then maybe, I'm going to click that there, then maybe we will see winter pass us and we will end up with all of these burgages here filled. So, in terms of what we're up to today, I don't really have a plan. And I know kind of that seems a little bit, well, why wouldn't you have a plan? Well, it's just because I don't have a plan, really. I think our main goal is to try and get this area sort of a lot more sorted, to get a lot more people down here to sort of sort all of this out. And then we can start really working on everything else within this area, which should be fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cool, we do have 8 there. I thought we did. And ultimately, I think we are going to start moving properly towards a small town. Aha, that's our small stable, wherever it is, completed, which is this one here. So I'm going to purchase an ox for there, because that will make ploughing these fields so much easier. So that's our livestock order placed. And now, well, I was going to say we can't really do anything but wait. So instead, let's come up here and let's pop over to our livestock trading post. And I am going to, I would like to order 2 sheep. Okay. Yeah, I know what approval is. What's wrong with my approval? Aha, we're all out of meats, fishes, and animal produces. Which means that... Ah, okay, that explains a little bit, I think. So hopefully, now with winter back up, well, with winter over, we can start fishing again. Thus, we can start properly making headway on this. And I'm just going to, once again, click the speed up time button. That is 1 done. Another 7 to go. But as soon as we've got people starting to move into here, we can then start assigning them to the farmhouse. That's 2 done. Yes, amazing. Fingers crossed for a 3rd. And then, to be fair, as soon as I can, I'll buy another ox. So, these are our sheep down here, Ursel and Christina. These are our lambs. Hopefully soon they will become sheep. And hopefully we've got another 2 sheep on their way. Now, we're actually doing quite well in terms of planks. So what I might do is come over here to the trading post. And we have no regional wealth, so I can't set up a trade yet. But if I come into here, we can set our desired surplus, and as soon as we've got 10 yeah, as soon as we've got 10 regional wealth, we can export all of it. And I think if we make our desired surplus of planks, let's say 50, that gives us a good amount. Export for 1, that should give us easily over 100. With the amount of planks that we're making, like that's going to be wonderful. Speaking of things being made and being wonderful, how's the progress on our burgages? Slow. I feel like this is going to be another episode where we get not much done, unfortunately. Through no fault of our own. It's just sort of a luck of the draw in terms of what does what. New family started moving in. Excellent. So is that there now? That is. Right. You are going to work on the farm. So there we go, that's the first of our many farm workers that we'll have here. And we're up to 28 regional wealth, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to unpin that building tab because we don't need that there. I'm going to come back over to here, and I am finally going to establish this trade route. And hopefully that should just give us a little bit of money. So that should be wonderful. Now I am going to come into here and we've set up that burgage's backyard spot. Hopefully that we should get enough to add all 3 crops into at least 1 or 2 of these backyard plots. And then that should give us many vegetables, which should be all fine and dandy. Cool. I was wondering what that little white spot was. I think that is just some leftover snow, which is all fun. Yeah, so that is 1 farm worker in. That's what, 7 to go. This might be quite a little bit of a long process, but I should probably explain where we're going after this. So, once we've got the 3 of these in, that should then give us the ability to not only make bread, which is what we need a communal oven for, and I'm thinking our communal oven we can stick over here in this space that we can't exactly do anything with. That's under industry. So if we've got... No, that's a weaver's workshop. We need the... Is it not? Oh, it's under farming. Yeah. So we end up putting the communal oven there because we can't stick any houses there. I think that would be cool. That puts this communal oven in town, which is good for food. Because we've already got the windmill to turn the wheat and the rye into flour, which is exactly what we need. Now, in terms of everything else, well, we've got the barley. Now, the barley we need to turn into alcohol. Saving complete. So, the way that we do that is through a malt house, which is fun. So, I think these bits are going to end up here. So, what I'm thinking is probably sticking a malt house over here, with then a burgage plot there that we can turn into a brewery. Then once we've got our brewery, we can then come into residential, and we can finally build our tavern in that plot there. And then that leaves us in a really, really good spot with all of that, which should be good. Now let's just speed up time again. Oh, we've got all 4 of our sheep in here now, which is good. Because then our next sort of goal after that is really to just maximize anything and everything. So we can completely kind of monopolize on fuel by kind of coming into construction, finding our fuel... I forgot what the name of it is. The charcoal kiln. And the kiln will probably sit somewhere around here-ish. And that allows us to turn all of our coal all of our logs into charcoal, and once we've got charcoal, that puts us in a really nice position to sell some fuel for money, which is good. And then, other than that, we're then really just making a slow crawl towards our level 3 burgages, which should be wonderful. So for that, we need more bits and pieces. We need to upgrade our church. We need more beverages, which we should get. We need garments. Now that's going to be from the marketplace. And the thing about garments is that garments come from either goats or sheep, which is why we're getting masses. We're going to be getting masses of sheep, which should be good. But again, we are just waiting for all of this to be sorted out. And as soon as we've got a family in this burgage here, we can then look to... Ooh, hang on. Our fields are starting to be ploughed. Well, hey, that is excellent. And with any luck, that's a second burgage done. Third burgage, sorry. So, this, again, we're going to turn into a vegetable garden. And then I think we have a couple of orchards down that end, which should be quite fun. If I very, very quickly... Oh, excellent, that's that burgage stuff done there. If I come back over here, so... Aha. Sorry, I was just looking at that to go, okay, so how do I do that? Excellent. New family. There's. Let's add another family to there. And let's purchase another ox. How many oxes do we have? We've got 6. Which should hopefully mean that I'm able to assign 2 oxes to this, and then we can absolutely, like, speed up this process so much, especially once we've got 8 people working on all of these. And speaking of working on all of these, they are basically all done. So I think we're going to get... Ooh, actually, we could get an apiary there, and then I'm thinking a couple of orchards. And then that should give us a lot of stuff. But also having bees there should hopefully do something in terms of kind of helping with everything to do with these fields. Hopefully. Excellent. So that is all of our new burgages in, completed, done, wonderful. So from here, now we just wait for people to move in. And actually, once all this construction's done, I think we can start moving on to getting some other bits and pieces into this sort of area. Because these all have expansion plots, so we can make these bigger as well. So, yeah, we've got 3 crops there, and I think we've got 4 things in terms of new burgage family, sorry. I lost my train of thought there. No, we'll have a new kind of... I think we've got 3 orchardy type. Yeah, we've got 3 there. So we've got a... building requires maintenance. Well, you're right next to the thing. That should be relatively easy to do in terms of... Yeah, everything's maintained. I can't see that being a problem. Actually, thinking of it, we've got 49 left. It doesn't matter if it collapses because, well, there's not much resources there anyway. So that's these 3 plots done. We can start purchasing seeds in a sec, which we will do by purchasing beetroots. And then here we will wait for a sec and we will purchase some carrots. And then in this third one we will purchase some cabbages. So yeah, it will take a moment or two to get this all kind of in and correct. But I think we can start diversifying out into the other bits and pieces we need around here. So, we've got our windmill. That's good. I think we now get our communal oven into its spot, which is going to be there next to that hitching post, which we will upgrade into a small stable. Which should be good, and all of our fields are almost completely ploughed, which is wonderful. So, if that's what they can do with only three families there, imagine what they'll be able to do when they've got 8 families working on this. Which is fun and well. So we've got our communal oven going in there. I think the next thing we need to look at over here is getting these next bits here for alcohol production, which is going to be the... where is it? The malt house. So we will stick the malt house. Could stick it there. But I think we could stick our brewery there, or we stick it there and we stick our brewery there, which might be a fun idea. So we'll stick that there, and then the other thing that we need to stick down for now is the tavern, which can finally take its pride of place there. And now, again, we just wait for everything to speed up. It's as I said earlier, this is going to be a slow episode. Like, it's a lot chiller, it's a lot, you know, I'm not going to say nothing's happening, because things are happening, but it is a lot slower than one might expect. Excellent, we've got a new family, add them to the farmhouse. So now we should have 1, 2, 3, 4... One of these is full of people. And do we have enough yet for... So we've got our beetroots there, let's get our carrots in there, and then we will get our, again, cabbages in there once we have the money for it. Which should be good. Now our sheep are enjoying their time in the pasture, that's very, very wonderful. And yeah, I don't want to jinx it by saying everything seems to be good, but everything seems to be good for now. We've got enough food to last us all 9 months. That is all well and dandy. Saving complete. And yeah, no, I really can't complain about the fact that everything seems to be going well. So hopefully we will see how everything looks in a sec. So the work on the small tavern has started. The work on the communal oven has started. The work on the small stable has not started. Neither has the work on the malt house. But what I am going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to... I think that looks about right. And then we take it down to simply... Okay, that doesn't have space for a backyard plot. But that does. What if instead I took it all the way up into the forest like that, and then took it down to 1? Yep. Okay, so that will then end up being our malt house, as it were. Brew. I don't know what it is. I'm stumbling over my words today. Brewery. There we go. It's too early in the morning for saying brewery. But there we go. But yeah, so we need to stick... So we've got our 3 orchards. We've got our 1 apiary there. So I think, because we don't need any of these really... and the brewery we're sticking there. And the communal oven, well, that already does the job of the baker. So I think we will actually be good for burgages for now. Excellent. New family. Immediately get to work. Excellent. We've got the apiary, which means apiation. Pollination strength. Excellent. Amazing. Wielding. Excellent. So that is all fun. So that should hopefully give us some honey. And I actually think what I'm going to do on this end one down here is... I may just get some more chickens. Because if you'll remember back in episode 1, we got some chickens in some of these plots along here. But actually, I think getting some more chickens over here could be good. Excellent. That is our small stable done. Amazing. So that's that there. Done. Communal oven should be just about done. Amazing. So I believe next it's the small tavern that's going to be finished. Or possibly this burgage plot. Now, as soon as we get that in, we'll upgrade it to level 2. Because we do need more level 2 burgages. Actually, coming down here, if I come to all of these are all... Most of those are level 1. Those are all level 2. For now, I think I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to upgrade that. That's not what I wanted to do. Oh well. That just means we can get another person there, which is good. Harvest season has started. Well, ooh. Do we have wheat? No, not yet. Ah well. We will have 7 barley, and we have nothing planted there. But hopefully... Oh, we've got a new family. Immediately set them to work. But yeah, as soon as we've got all of these in, that should hopefully increase all of this tenfold. And we even have more sheep now. That's wonderful. So, do we have any wool yet? Yes, we have wool. Which means I'm actually going to construct another burgage. So, actually, Weaver's Workshop. That is now what I will need to stick probably around... let's stick the Weaver's Workshop there. So it's just opposite the sheep farm. And then if I go stick another burgage down, that should give us a burgage that can be turned into a tailor's, which should be good. Now we can add our cabbages to that one, which should be good. We've got our carrots, our cabbages, and our beets. Then we've got our apiary there, which means that we can get those 3 in soon, which is wonderful. Now, I saw that they completed construction. Is that one up there? Yes, it is. How do we upgrade? Aha, we need more meats, fishes, and animal produce. So, in that case, I mean, the only thing really we can do at the moment is more fish, because we don't exactly have much in the way of meat yet, which is unfortunate, but it should all hopefully be fine. If I take the reserve actually up to, that holds 165, let's take it up to 100, because that's going to keep us in food for 9 months for now, which hopefully let us regrow our pool of fish there, and then we can set it back down so we can get more. which should be good. Say that this is all coming along slowly but surely, I think is what I'll say. And our tavern does appear to be being built. That is all wonderful. So if I give it a couple of moments, this should hopefully be the next thing we get a notification about. There we go, we now have a tavern. That is absolutely wonderful. We've got a well there, our little marketplace there, and the next thing we need to upgrade is the church. But we need to completely add more industry for that, which I think we might possibly do in the next episode, because we are slowly approaching the end of this one. I think we've got about 5 minutes left on this, but that is all good. But yeah, no, this is good. This is slowly working, I think, which is good. I'm just interested to see what's going to be built next. This seems to be our next supplement of bits and pieces for building things. No, it's not. It's the sheep farm. But no, as soon as we've got this weaver's workshop in, I think then we can also look at getting another plot in for the tailors. So if I come over here, we'll stick another burgage down. Actually, we could stick the tailors in this spot here. Take that back down to that, but that doesn't have backyard plot space, which doesn't make sense because that has backyard plot space. I am utterly confused. Let's instead come there and do that. There we go. So that's going to be our backyard burgage for that. So the crops have been rotated in the fields. So hopefully that should mean we get a harvest by the end of the year. Well, by next harvest season, really. Which should be good. Excellent. We've got a new family in. Get to work. Which should give us then this last one, which needs people in it. And then that should be everything we need for our full farmhouse. Which we can't actually upgrade, which is interesting. But that's fine. So, coming back over to here, obviously this is what we are looking at the moment in terms of our little town. I think it's all coming along nicely, and I think what we're going to do is we will get down onto the ground like we usually do and have a little bit of a wander around. Now, we've not got much to look at this episode towards the centre of town itself, but my hope is that someday this will all be kind of properly like urban area with burgages all around, pieces of industry here and there. Now here's our communal oven. This is where all of our bread's going to be made, which should be fun. And then I am going as fast as I can, saving complete. If we come all the way over here, now this is our tavern, which I am very excited to have as part of our little town. Just look at it, it looks wonderful. And people can't exactly use it quite yet, but they will be able to. That should be fun. So if we pop out of there really quickly, we will pop back over this side, and actually we can get down on the ground now and have a look at these burgages that we didn't have last time. So we've got obviously all the crops going up. That is very, very wonderful. I really like the look of all of that, and I think that's all going to be wonderful. So, yeah, we are just now really just approaching the end of the episode now. So if you have enjoyed this episode, then please feel free to give me a like, give me a comment, possibly even give me a subscribe, if I'm lucky enough. And I will aim to see you within the next episode. So, ta-ta. Let's roll that outro.